Hey guys, we're at it once more with another review of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Guys, welcome back to Coins Age Media, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I am absolutely loving this show. This episode in particular was one that sort of jumped out at me from my childhood. I'm 40 years old right now, and I've said it before in this series, this is the first time I've watched this since it was on television originally, and you know, there's a few things have jumped out for me. The intro to this show, it was one of the things that just you never forget once you've seen it. But parts of this episode I started to remember while I was watching it. This is called The Time Corridor, and at the beginning of it, Skeletor manages to get his hands on the Wheel of Infinity, which gives him the ability to transport himself back in time before there was a Castle Grayskull. He decides he's going to go back, change the past, and yes, before the Castle Grayskull, the power of that there is the one thing that stops him from doing what he wants to do, and he's constantly trying to overthrow and destroy Grayskull. The heroes at the beginning of the episode, they're having a picnic. Man-at-Arms and Orko have another collision due to his magic screwing up, where he decides he's going to take a cake that they have for the picnic and make it bigger, and it grows to the point where it's just, you know, we can't work with this thing, and Orko accidentally knocks it over, covers Man-at-Arms. Typical stuff, them pair are always at each other's throats over his magic. Orko screwing it up as normal. Just then, Zoar the Falcon appears in the sky, calls him the Grayskull. Zoar is the sorceress. She can transform herself into the form of a falcon, and she uses this a lot to give them a little bit of a heads up, you know, I need your help sort of thing. So off they go, and they find out through the window of time in Castle Grayskull what's happening. They see Skeletor is in the past. He's building a huge fortress that is going to be the foundation for Castle Grayskull in the future, and the sorceress knows what he's doing. He's got the Wheel of Infinity there, and if he starts to spin that, it'll spin and grow until it reaches the present and destroys Castle Grayskull. Grayskull, basically. So He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Orko, Battle-Cat go back in time to try and stop Skeletor's schemes. When they get there, they meet Zolara, of the Snake People, and before they left, the sorcerer says Orko will be able to help you understand them. Their language is different than what it is now in present day. So Orko casts a spell which translates their language into English, so He-Man and everybody can understand. And throughout the episode we discover that back in the past, Orko's magic is actually stronger. He's not messing anything up. Any of the spells that he uses in this episode in the past are 100% accurate, which is interesting towards the character. There's somewhere in the back of my mind, I am thinking, I could be wrong on this here, but later on in the series we're maybe going to find this out, but I think Orko isn't originally from Eternia. I think he's from another planet, and on his planet his magic is so much stronger, kind of like, you know, the Superman and the Yellow Sun sort of thing gives him his power. I think Orko on his home planet has unlimited magic. I could be completely wrong on that there, but I am digressing completely out of this episode. But you know, stick with this series and hopefully we'll figure it out at some point. Just then a Dragosaur attacks, and He-Man fights that off, saves the Snake People. I do believe it was Snake People. Yes, from this Dragazor, and they make friends with them. They find out what's happening. There's what's the other one's called? Oh gosh, I've got a few notes here. Ip Men. Snake People and Ip Men are the two clans in the past. So He-Man and the heroes make friends with the Snake People, and they go off. They find out that the Ip Men are working for Skeletor, building his fortress, and He-Man goes and confronts Skeletor at the fortress. Skeletor gets the upper hand on He-Man during this battle and manages to kidnap Zalora, and he takes her to Dragazor Island, and He-Man has to go on a side mission to rescue her. And throughout this part of the episode, there's so much fighting in this episode. You know, He-Man and the heroes have to fight their way through a jungle to get to where Zalora has been held by Skeletor. They fight through that. Obviously the heroes always win in these shows, but when they get there, Skeletor has her in a cage and casts a spell on it that traps it between space and time. But He-Man manages to use his strength to rip the cell apart and get her out. And the thing now is, they've only got a small window of time to stop Skeletor before the sorceress's magic that sent him back in time brings him back to the present. So the problem they have now is they're so far away from the fortress. What are they going to do? So the sorceress, she manages to pop up, calls back through time to tell them, like, we need to hurry here. If you don't sort this out soon, my spell's going to bring you back and Grayskull's done for. And He-Man asks the sorceress, can you help us in any way here? And she uses one of her spells to actually transport them from Dragazor Island back to Skeletor's fortress. Once there, the final battle commences, and Skeletor has the Wheel of Infinity, and he manages to start it spinning. And he's like, this is it. Once this starts spinning, you can't stop it. And He-Man's over, and he's trying to use his super strength to stop the wheel from turning, but he can't. And Skeletor is, he's on cloud 9 at this point. He's like, once this thing's going, no one can stop it. And he goes through the whole super villain speech about, it's going to grow and grow and grow until it reaches the present. It's going to explode and destroy Grayskull. I'm going to win. You can't stop me. He-Man is kind of like, you know what? If I can't stop it from spinning, I bet I can speed it up. So he uses his super strength to actually spin it harder and throws it off its axis. Skeletor realizes his plans is doomed, and he opens a time corridor to escape back to the present. He-Man is panicking at this stage. He's genuinely worried. Has he screwed up? But uses his strength once again to actually punch the Wheel of Infinity up into the sky, where it explodes harmlessly and doesn't destroy anything, in the past, where Grayskull's going to be built at. The foundations are all fine and well. Back in the past, no damage has been caused, so there's no change to the future. Though you could make the argument that once Skeletor started screwing with the foundations at the start of it, it would cause a chain reaction throughout time, and then in the present, Grayskull at the beginning of the episode would have been, but that's, time travel journeys and episodes like this are, they just make it up as they go. But yes, the Wheel of Infinity gets destroyed, Grayskull's saved, we get back to the present, and they get thanked by the sorcerers for saving Grayskull, and I'm forever going to be in your debt, He-Man. And that's it. Kind of just finishes off there. There's not a lot of stuff going on with the other characters, such as the King and the Queen aren't in this one. A lot of Skeletor's villains don't make an appearance, like the usual suspects, Evelyn, Beastman, none of those guys. Yes, we finish it off and we get our little public service announcement at the end of the episode. And I always look forward to these ones here. And this is He-Man himself this time talks to the audience, and he's like, you know what, in this episode we seen that Skeletor went back in time to do evil things, but no one in real life can go back in time. That's just make-believe. And but we can learn from the past and take those lessons and apply it to the present and make ourselves better people. So make today the best day possible. And that's it. The episode's finished. Absolutely brilliant. I love this here. This is so good. I'm going to continue on with this series as much as I can. I hope you're enjoying it. And definitely, if you've never seen He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, definitely go check it out, because it's going to be essential watching if you're going to get into the Kevin Smith new Masters of the Universe Revelation. Okay, I'm constantly talking about this show. I can't wait for it. It is based upon this original series. It's going to continue on a lot of the stuff that happens throughout this series. So I'm genuinely excited. Loving this series, but I'm excited for this fact as well, to watch this and enjoy the life out of it. So whenever the Revelation turns up, it's going to be just beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please hit that subscription button and don't forget to press that bell icon to be notified of future uploads. Please get into the description box below this video and check out my social media links down there, and check out all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video.